Alright, welcome back, YouTube. I did a few things off camera. I took out the brake booster, or no, that was already out. I took off the, well, I guess it wasn't. I took off the master cylinder and the brake lines and all that, and took off the caster camber plates and just sanded it all down with 320, and then shot some etching primer on some of the bare metal stuff, and then just sprayed it with this it's called New Ford Gray from O'Reilly. I'm sure other places have it too. I don't remember. It is duplicate color. New Ford Gray. Turned out pretty decent for just 320. I mean, I needed more. One of my cans got stuck, so I basically wasted a whole can. So like, firewall is pretty glossy, but like this stuff's still pretty, I guess, metallic-y. It's not like smooth or whatever. This side's a little smoother, but I wasn't too worried about going to town on those because you're not really gonna see them. I mean, you might see a little bit of them, but not too much. So I ordered my tires for my wheels, so they're on their way. Today I'm gonna try to yank out this rear end, or attempt to do it single-handedly. Shouldn't be that bad, but I don't know. Gonna try it and see what happens. I got an idea of what to do for the brake line in the middle. Other than that, though, I mean, it should just be the control arms and all that little stuff. And I'll leave the shocks on it for last. And I don't know. Never done it by myself, so we'll see how this goes. Arguably the hardest part of this entire thing, taking out the quad shocks. All right, I got the quad shocks off of both sides, and I got that little brake line T up there, a soft line that splits into two hard lines off. That's dripping a little bit. That should mean I can leave the hard lines on the rear end itself. Shouldn't be a problem. Right now I'm taking off the drum covers, the drums, and I'm trying to get the parking brakes off. So I'm gonna do that real quick and then figure out what's after that. Right after fighting for a while, I got both the parking brake cables off and the rear brakes removed. So now I don't think I need to take a sway bar off, so I might try to do the lowers and get the springs out, or the uppers. I don't know. Figure out. Alright, I got a little carried away and forgot to record an update. What I did was put a jack under the rear end, jacked it up a little bit, took the rumble to the shocks on the bottom, dropped it down where the jack wasn't touching no more, left it, you know, a little bit lower, and then took my good friend and swing, and the springs popped on out. So now that that's done, I'll probably jack it back up, hook the shocks back up, and get the control arms unbolted, probably from just the rear end. Leave them on the car for now. So I'm gonna get that done hopefully real quick. All right, I got this lower driver's side lower control arm bolt out. After further examination, the sway bar is attached, so I'm loosening the sway bar bolts now. Just gonna drop that out, and so it's not attached, and I don't gotta take out these other bolts for the lowers. So let me get that done real quick and show you in just a second. All right, 4 bolts. Now that bad Larry's out of there. So I'm gonna do, well, that's supposed to come out. I'm gonna undo these other 2 lower, or this other lower control arm bolt, and then I'm gonna attempt to do the upper bolts right there, and then hopefully get tension off the shocks, and then just lower it out. In a perfect world, it should be all that needs done, unless if I find something else. But hopefully that's it. I guess we'll find out here in a few moments. Okay, so I'm pretty terrible at this whole YouTube thing. I don't even remember what I showed last. Got the other lower control arm bolt out, freed that up, rear end started moving a good bit, you know, wiggling around. So after that, just undid the two uppers and then left the jack under the center, and then it started to kind of nosedive where that like counterweight is. So I took the tension off the jack, held it up with my arm, and slid it up underneath there to keep it from falling down, and then realized it was too far forward, so I moved it back and kind of just let it slowly fall and touch the ground, and then took the tension off, let it dangle by the shocks, and then took each shock off one by one, and then got it the rest of the way down. So she's out now. Make it easier to get these other control arms out later on. You know, I gotta worry about the rear end being in the way. But it really wasn't that bad. I mean, that whole brake line thing worked out. You can see it right there. It attached right there. Try to zoom in. Right there. So just loosened that up, took that off, and then the quad shocks, sway bar, parking brake cables, and just the control arms, and I believe that was it, and just came right out. So waiting on my tires to get here, mount those on my wheels, get them to fit up in here where I want them, and then we'll measure the rear end and cut it off, you know, however much I need. I'm gonna weld on 9-inch ends. Probably just do forget Eaton True Track, and then a 355 gear. I'll probably have this all sandblasted, whatnot, and weld on the brackets or whatever to move the coilovers in, which is going to be really fun. Trying to make all that fit with the stock tank and all that. I don't know how that's going to go. Might have to cut out the spare tire well. I'm not sure. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. But big thing is it's out. It's still in there, but it's out. So that's one step closer. One less thing to do. So now that that's done, I guess just gotta wait on the tires. And in the meantime, I'll probably do it off camera. I'll just bolt these caster camber plates back on and all that fun stuff. Grease up these A-arms. I need to replace this rack still. Been debating on getting a one of those Motion Race Works steering shafts or steering columns, but I don't know how to wire up or mess with all the turn signals and ignition switch and all that. I mean, they don't have a alternative to that or whatever, so I don't know if I'll do that or not. I might just cut off a rag joint and get something welded up. I don't know. And I'm probably gonna end up doing a cage just because I'd rather be safe. You know, I want to be driving this on the street, have people in it with me. I want it to be safe, you know, in case Mustang does Mustang things. So I guess that's it for this video. So yeah, thanks for watching.